two sessions we had understood the story Toto the monkey. And today what we are going to do? We are going to continue with the story because the story is still remaining, right? But before that, let us revise the story. Okay, so the story Toto the monkey is written by Ruskin Bond. In this story, there is a mischievous monkey. Mischievous means very naughty monkey whose name is Toto. And there is a grandfather who is an animal lover. Okay, the writer's grandfather who is an animal lover. And he had a private zoo at his home. Okay, so he used to bring new animals to his private zoo. Okay, so the story begins with the grandfather buying Toto from the Tonga tribe. Okay, with sum of 5 rupees. And the Tonga driver used to keep the Toto tied up with large utensils which is used to keep food. Okay, so the grandfather decided to add the Toto in his private zoo. Okay, as the grandfather had a private zoo at his home, so he decided to take the Toto to his home. Okay. Now in this story, the appearance of the Toto is given. That how Toto was looking. Toto कैसा दिख रहा था? Toto was a very pretty monkey. His eyes were sparkled with mischief. शरारत भरी eyes थी, right? And he had a deep set eyebrows and his teeth pearly white. Okay, pearly white teeth थे. And he was looking like Anglo-Indian ladies. Everyone would be frightened. Now he had a long tail and it is adding in his good looks. Okay, so with the tail, Toto was looking very good. He used his tail as a third hand to hang branch, okay, to pick up something or wherever his hands did not reach. उसके hands जहाँ पर नहीं पहुँच रहे थे वहाँ पर वो अपनी tail use करता था. Okay. Now the grandmother didn't like when grandfather brings some new animals to the home. Okay. The grandmother would be very first. वो बहुत ही चिढ़ जाती. So the grandfather and the writer decided to keep the Toto secret. So the grandfather and the writer hides the Toto in a bedroom where there was a closet. Okay, एक cupboard जैसा था, right? In that there was a hanger, there was a peg. Okay, and the Toto was tied up with that peg. Okay, so after some time, when grandfather and the writer come to see, what did they see? They saw that the wallpaper was scratched, okay, and the peg was wrenched off, and the blazer tore into a pieces. Okay, Toto ने blazer के टुकड़े-टुकड़े कर दिए थे. Now, after this incident, it was decided to transfer the Toto in a big cage in the servants' quarter. Okay. So, as I told you, that grandfather had a private zoo at his home. Right? So grandfather transferred the Toto in a private zoo where there were some other pet animals live sociably. Okay, जो एक साथ मिलजुल कर रहते थे. Right? Now, which were those animals? A tortoise, a tame squirrel, a pair of rabbit, and a pet goat. And Toto was the fifth one. Okay. Now, as Toto was a very naughty monkey, right? So he did not allow anyone to sleep. Okay, उसने किसी को भी सोने दिया नहीं. Now next day, the grandfather had to go Saharanpur from Dehradun. Grandfather को देहरादून से सहारनपुर जाना था to collect his pension. Right? Now, as grandfather aware of the Toto that the Toto stay here, then वो बहुत ही बदमाशी करेगा, right? So he decided to take the Toto along with him. Okay. Now grandfather took a very big black canvas bag. Okay, जिसमें पहले सूखी घास रखी and then Toto was kept into it. Okay, now the bag was totally locked that Toto could not come out of it. Okay, so Toto was trying to come out. Okay, but the canvas of the bag was too hard, so he cannot bite or tear. Tear means फाड़ नहीं सकता. Okay, now the Toto was trying to come out of the bag, right? So he was jumping in the bag, he was rolling his body, right? So it looks like that the bag was jumping and the bag was rolling, right? So at the Dehradun railway platform, okay, everyone is looking very curiously that how a bag can jump or roll. Okay, so it was an exhibition for all the people at the platform. Now, as far as they reached to the Sharanpur railway station, Sharanpur railway station पहुंचे तब तक Toto was inside the bag. Okay, but when the grandfather producing his ticket, grandfather showing his ticket to the ticket collector at the turnstile entrance gate. Right? At that time, suddenly Toto popped his head out of the bag. And the Toto gave a very wide grin. बहुत ही अपना टीथ दिखाते हुए एक बड़ी वाली स्माइल दी टिकट कलेक्टर. Okay, now the ticket collector in annoyance said that, sir, you have a dog with you and you need to pay charge. Okay, आपको इसका चार्ज पे करना पड़ेगा. Now the ticket collector को क्या लगा कि टोटो क्या है, डॉग है. So the grandfather purposely take out the Toto from the bag to show the ticket collector that it is not a dog, it is a monkey, right? But the ticket collector still classified Toto as a dog. Now, grandfather paid sum of 3 rupees as a charge for Toto. Okay, now the grandfather took out tortoise from his pocket and he said that what should I pay for it? मुझे इसके लिए क्या पे करना है? The ticket collector looked very closely and he pushed the tortoise, right? He prodded the tortoise and the ticket collector with a smile, okay, what he said that it is not a dog, so you did not have to pay for it. Okay, ये dog नहीं है तो आपको इसके लिए पे करना नहीं है. Now the grandfather and the Toto came back to the home and grandmother also accepted the Toto. What does she do for Toto? वो क्या करती है Toto के लिए? That we are going to see in this session. Okay, so let us see. Open your textbook, everyone. Page number 36. Okay, so as usual, what you have to do? You need to move your finger as I read. Okay, so let us begin with the stories. So kids, let us start on page number 36, second paragraph. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable where he had for a companion the family donkey Nana. Now, as I told you, when grandfather and the Toto came back from Sharanpur, the grandfather told to grandmother about Toto, right? And grandmother finally accepted the Toto. And Toto was given a very nice place to live, and that was in the stable. कहाँ पर रहने के लिए place दी टोटो को? स्टेबल में. Where his companion was Nana. वहाँ पर उसका साथी कौन था? Nana. Nana was a donkey and Toto was a monkey. Now come to the next part. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable, as it was the first day for Toto in the stable, right? First day था stable में Toto का. So grandfather went to see the Toto whether he is living comfortably or not. वो आराम से रह रहा है कि नहीं? To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Okay, so now when grandfather went to the stable to visit Toto as he was comfortable or not, grandfather saw that both Nana and Toto were fighting. So grandfather, without knowing any reason of fighting का कोई भी apparent cause means clear and cause means reason. Okay, so fighting का कोई भी clear reason जाने बिना grandfather pulling at her halter means लगाम खींचना, right, and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. hay means घास का जो कूड़ा होता है, that is called hay. Okay, so without knowing any reason of fighting, okay, grandfather pulled her head away from the bundle of grass. Okay, and grandfather gave a slap across her haunches. Haunches means the back part of the leg. Okay, जो thighs का back part होता है, that is called haunches. Okay, so grandfather gave a slap across donkey Nana's haunches and she jerked back. Here you can see for donkey Nana the pronoun she is used, she, she, right? So here donkey Nana is a female. Okay, so she is used. So and jerked, jerked, jerked means to move somebody or झटका देना. Okay, so as grandfather gave a slap across donkey Nana's haunches, so she jerked back. उसको क्या लगा? झटका लगा. Dragging Toto with her. Okay, so they also pull Toto with donkey Nana और grandfather ने Toto को भी अपने साथ खींचा. And what did Toto do? Toto ने क्या किया? He fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth. Okay, so the Toto sat on Nana and was pulling the donkey's long ears and biting with its small teeth. और उसके long ears थे नाना के, वो खींच रहा था and he was biting with his little teeth. Toto and Nana never became friends. Okay, Toto and Nana never became friends. Now come to the next paragraph. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. Then during winter season, in the cold season, grandmother used to give warm water to Toto in a big bowl to take a bath. नहाने के लिए grandmother used to give warm water to Toto. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. Okay, so after that, Toto smartly measured the temperature of water, whether the water is not too hot, बहुत ज़्यादा गर्म तो नहीं है. After that, he slowly puts one foot after the other. एक के बाद एक पैर पानी में रखकर and then the water is reached until his neck. उसके neck तक पानी आता था. Okay. Now come to the page number 37. Two parts are given. Okay. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. After that, he used to rub his hands and feet with soap. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. So, when the water became cold, then he used to run towards the kitchen. Okay, kitchen fire means गैस के पास जाता था kitchen में, right? To dry himself. Okay, now why did he go near the kitchen fire? To dry himself. Okay. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. Okay? So, and if someone laughed at him, कोई उसे ऐसा करते हुए टोटो पर हंस देता था, तो वो नहाने से मना कर देता था. Refuse means to say no. Now on the same page, come to the next part. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. और एक दिन तो टोटो ने हद ही कर दी. Do you know what he did? There was a big kettle on the fire. गैस के ऊपर एक बड़ी सी kettle रखी थी. What is kettle? Kettle is a kind of utensils which is used to prepare tea. Okay, and he thought that it is a water for bath. And Toto thought that वो नहाने के लिए गर्म पानी है. And he just took out a lid और उसके अंदर जाके बैठ गया. Okay, and as it was a cold, right? So Toto liked to sit on the warm things, right? So this was the better place for him. Finding the water just warm enough for bath, he got in with his head sticking out from open kettle. Okay, और kettle में से सिर्फ अभी उसका head ही दिख रहा था. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. पहले पानी थोड़ा सा गर्म था, right? But उसके बाद temperature high होने लगा, right? Now the kettle was on the fire, on the gas. So until the water did not boil it, जब तक water पानी उबला नहीं था, right? It was fine, तब तक ठीक था. But then Toto was thinking to come out from it, but it is too cold outside. Okay, बाहर बहुत ठंडी थी. Because of that, he sat back in the kettle. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and pulled him half boiled out of the kettle. Okay, so he used to come outside for a while, then he go inside because it was very cold outside, as he used to do this again and again. And when grandmother comes and see in the kitchen, what did she say? Arey, what is happening? The monkey was sitting inside the kettle. ये क्या हो रहा है? And it is on the fire. And they take him out of half boiled from the kettle. ओके और उन्होंने केटल में से उसको बाहर निकाला और अगर ग्रैंडमदर ने बाहर नहीं निकाला होता तो वो जल जाता. Now below that, if there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. So here the writer is saying that the part of the brain where there is some naughtiness, जो naughtiness वाला part होता है brain में, okay, so that part टोटो में बहुत अच्छे से डेवलप हुआ था. okay, so that is why टोटो इतनी बदमाशी करता था. okay, so which part was largely developed in Toto? Mischief part. okay, naughtiness part. He was always tearing things to pieces. okay, so वो always क्या करता था? सभी things को tear करता था. Tear means फाड़ता था. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. Now there was author's aunt. author के एक आंटी थे. So whenever she came, Toto used to make a hole in her clothes. Now come to the next page, page number 38. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. One day, what happened? It was lunchtime and pulao was placed in a dish on the dining table. Pulao बने हुए थे. And when everyone came for the lunch, what did they see? They see that Toto was eating pulao sitting on the dining table. Okay? My grandmother screamed. Screamed means चिल्लाना. Okay? So, shouting करना. So उसके बाद grandmother को गुस्सा आ गया and she shouted at him and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. And उसके बाद when grandmother shouted at him, then Toto threw a plate at her. And at that time, author's aunt ran towards grandmother. So, what did Toto do? He threw a glass of water at the aunt. Okay? So, grandmother के ऊपर plate throw की and जो author की जो आंटी थी उनके ऊपर glass फेंका. Okay? When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. When grandfather came, Toto took the dish of pulao and went out of the window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree. The dish is still in his arms. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And after a while, we saw that Toto was sitting on the branch. Toto branch के ऊपर बैठा था. कौन से branch? Jackfruit की. Okay? With a dish of pulao. And he sat there eating every single grain of rice. Okay? एक एक दाना वो खाता रहा and he sat there whole afternoon. Okay? And he finished the pulao. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. And now, when he finished the pulao, because grandmother had shouted at Toto, so Toto threw a plate down to tease her. दादी जी को चिढ़ाने के लिए Toto threw a plate down. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet he would keep for a long. Okay, so after that, everyone understood that monkey is not such a pet which can be kept in the house. Even grandfather realized that. Grandfather also understood that कि टोटो कोई पालतू जानवर नहीं है जिसको हम घर पे रख सके. We were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. Because Toto used to do mischief a lot. वो बहुत ही शैतानी करता था. And he was doing damage to all the things in the house like dishes, clothes, curtains. He used to break everything. Okay, वो सब कुछ तोड़ता रहता था. So again and again, loss cannot be affordable for them. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold the Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. And after that, finally, grandfather decided that we cannot keep the Toto anymore, and for that, what did he do? After that, grandfather again found the Tonga driver, okay, with whom he had bought the Toto, जहाँ से जिनके पास से उन्होंने टोटो को लिया था टोंगा ड्राइवर से, right? So he found the Tonga driver, and this time grandfather sold the Toto back to Tonga driver, and as grandfather had bought it for 5 rupees. ग्रैंडफादर ने कितने में लिया था टोटो को? 5 rupees में. But this time he sold it for just 3 rupees. और अभी उसने टोंगा ड्राइवर को वापस सिर्फ only 3 rupees में sold किया. Okay? So kids, this is a very interesting story. I hope you all have liked it. So here we completed the explanation of chapter number 4. Okay? So kids, now along with this video lecture, you will get worksheet. In this worksheet, you will find fill in the blanks. Okay? So you need to fill the blanks with the options given above. Okay? So from the option, you need to fill the blanks. Okay everyone? And you can